Alrighty, so here we are again. It's Sunday, March 6th, and this will be my fourth video in my journey series. So today is going to be a little bit more talking than normal, so just to warn you, I don't have as much video this week because either my battery had died when I was filming, or I forgot to bring my other battery, or something in the combination of camera issues. So I apologize for that in advance. So let's go ahead and talk about the week. This week was a pretty decent week. I didn't do as much training this week because I really wanted to climb more this week, so I did that. There were some new problems that my gym put up in the gym, and one of them I tried on Thursday, and I just today being Sunday, completed it. So it took me a good 4 days to complete this problem, and the frustrating part is that it wasn't really that difficult. It was technically a level below what I've been doing, and so it was frustrating because I wasn't climbing as well as I would like to have. And not just that problem, just in general, this week I wasn't climbing as well as I would have liked. But on the side note, albeit it was very frustrating this week because, I didn't have a strong week like I have in the past, it's good because it shows that it's not easy. That my goal of becoming a professional boulderer, albeit hopefully within 2 years, even reaching the IFSC eventually, it's going to be extremely difficult. And there's going to be more bumps along the road than I dare to even think about. But if the journey was easy and I could be there within no time, then looking back at it, it would be almost, a fading memory. I wouldn't have the push to keep going on. Because something is frustrating, it makes you mad, it makes you want to stop. And sometimes you may stop. I stopped early on Thursday after only training for 2 hours because I was so frustrated. But I came back the next day and the day after, and I kept working. And so I didn't want to give up. And so I'm happy that this isn't easy because it's going to make my memories of this so much stronger and so much more fulfilling when I finally do reach my goal. So yeah, it was frustrating this week. I wasn't climbing as well as I would have liked. But eventually, I completed that problem. And so now I can move on and continue climbing, continue getting better and reaching my goal. Every time I tell people about my goal, especially climbers who are better than me, they kind of scoff and laugh at me. Not necessarily in a mean way, but just in a way that they know it's going to be difficult for me to do this. And so they're kind of laughing at my desire to do it because, it's not going to be easy. But I'm happy with that. It's going to be difficult, but we'll see how it goes. So also, good news, this week was my first time to go outside, and I have some video footage of that. My camera did die, unfortunately, while I was there, but I do have some video footage of me climbing outside for the very first time in a place called Mitake, which was really convenient to get to, right next to the train station. The train station, so it was really nice, and I went there with a great bunch of friends who I met bouldering. So, yeah. And I think that's about it for now. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Well, I decided there was a little bit more I would like to cover. It's about the outside climbing. The outside climbing is a lot different, obviously, from indoor climbing in that the way you use your feet, so it's pretty much the goal of outdoor climbing is anywhere is okay. Your goal starts here and your start is here and your goal is there. You can get there any way you want. You can use any hand you want, put your feet anywhere you want. It's just about reaching the goal. And outdoor climbing feet are, how do I say, very, very tricky. They're not as easy to spot as indoor climbing. And so sometimes what you think isn't a foot because it's so smooth looking really is a foot, and that's all you have. And that's where you have to put your foot, put your weight on it, control your body weight and whatnot. So I'm glad I got to experience outdoor climbing because it was such an eye-opener to the awesomeness of bouldering. And so I'll narrate some more on the actual video clips itself to let you know more a little bit about that. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Okie dokie, so I have a teddy bear here that I found next to the 7-Eleven while I was waiting for my friends. When my friends and I arrived at this train station, there was a little girl and her family that got off at the same stop as we did. She happened to have the same teddy bear of the one that I found, so I figured she must have dropped it. So I eventually found her and her family down at the bottom of the staircase to the right a little bit, where I do make contact and give them or give her her teddy bear back. And so this is my journey to do that. So at this point, I had already given back the teddy bear to the little girl, and now I'm just waiting for my friends to come down so we can start climbing. As you can see, this area is pretty popular for all types of sports, whether it be whitewater rafting. Later on, you might see some canoeing, as well as paddleboarding. So it's pretty common for people of all different types of sports to come here to get exercise and just spend the time hiking and whatnot. Actually, it's really funny. As we were leaving, we actually saw a couple that was on a date, and we knew they were a couple because they were dressed in date attire. The girl had a dress on with some heels, and for whatever reason, they decided to go down to the boulders and start climbing. We assumed that they had seen people climbing the boulders and decided to give it a try. And so it's really awesome to see a couple that was out on a date just didn't care about what they had on and just wanted to climb. So here we have my friends that were kind enough to take me out on my first outdoor bouldering experience. We have Dorothy the tactician, Takeshi the tiger, and Juan the mysterious face. These guys are a really good group of friends, and without them, I wouldn't have been able to get as far as I have so far. Here we have my first boulder. This is the boulder that everybody uses when they first come out to warm up and whatnot. So I get to do this as my first boulder. So I'm really excited, but as you'll see in the clips, it takes me a little time to get used to it, but I really enjoyed being able to come out and climb. moving on, this is my next problem. I have to follow this little crack that goes all the way up. And once I get to the top of the crack, there's really no handholds, and so I just have to make my way up to the top. Here is the mysterious face one. He's trying a much harder problem than I was, that I'm going to be trying. His start is probably the most difficult thing. So he's working on that. That is his project right now. So now I'm trying to climb this crack. Um, I don't know how it looks on video, but there's really not a lot of room to put your hands in the crack, so you really got to find small open spaces. Also, the feet here, finding a good place to put your feet is really difficult because they're really difficult to see when you're on the boulder itself. Right now, I'm trying to find something for my hands to grab, but it's really difficult.
Come on, Mickey.
Up next, we have Dorothy the tactician trying her hand at the same problem I was. She's called the tactician because she has really, really good eyes. And so she's really able to see, where to put her feet, her hands, or she's also really good at giving advice because she sees things that other people don't really see. She's a really strong climber. She's getting stronger every day, so it's really good to see her climbing, and it's inspiring as well. So she's doing a really good job here. We both been working on this problem for a while. Um, Eventually, we both are unable to get it, and we have to move on to some other things. But that's the name of the game. Lastly, I'm taking a break at this point from climbing, so I just wanted to kind of film around the surroundings. We have another gentleman here who's climbing, and he's a pretty strong climber as well. I think he ended up actually getting it. People like to come out here, spend their time, bring their children, camp out, relax. It was pretty nice weather and everything. But yeah, Japan is awesome.